So, well, I'm do the Welcoming Committee, and what we basically do is we introduce ourselves to the people getting into our own country here, and just kind of inform them what's going on in the community so they can kind of fit in and be a part of it, I suppose. And I think that is important to a great deal, because more and more are coming in each month, which is, it's great, I think it's great. But the thing is, looking back a few years ago when Ireland would have been a one kind of racial country, it's a lot more multiracial now. And so it is important for us, and I suppose our kids, to communicate with their kids, because it's going to be them that's going to really ultimately run our country, and so we need a good form of communication there, I suppose. So, and I think it's going to be brilliant stuff. It's going to be brilliant. And, so I think at the end of the day, what we have to do is we have to be more like me, be more open-minded towards the situation, kind of be hope, because at the end of the day, they're not going away,
Of course, I did have a very unfortunate incident last month. I had a car accident. It was about 11:30, about closing time, and I had an accident with another car who I'm certain was a drunk driver. And of course, the Gardaí have their own agenda. And they think that I, in fact, was over the limit, when in actual fact I just had one or two. But I'm certain I was under the limit. Really, it was the end of the month. They're trying to get their statistics up for the pulse system. But also, people are surprised at the stock of alcohol that I have in the house. But I'm a happy guy. I'm a good host. I like to have a drink around. I do have a lot of people calling around to me, and I like to be generous, and I'm a good host.
You can't always be nice and be honest at the same time. When I told my sister how ugly that wedding dress was, I wasn't being spiteful or bitter or jealous, I was just being honest. That's my creed. And once you're 100% honest, you have nothing to reproach yourself with, and nothing that people can reproach you with.
I think I was doing my nails at the time, or I could have been watching that thing on the TV. What was it about? God, I can't remember now. Oh, something to do with animals or something, and I think that's the one that made me forget about the dinner again. Or was it? I tried 2 different nail varnishes. I think my appearance, it's very important, and I like to look nice. That to me is important too, as the dinner is now. But where was I now? God. Yeah, the thing on the telly. I couldn't figure that out at all. Or was it the nail varnish I couldn't figure out? I can't remember.
I really just think it's disgusting. These people, they go around, they're wearing a mask. It's disgusting that they have to be so false to themselves, and they put so much on. It's just disgraceful. When you think about the 30% of what you actually put on your skin is soaked into your bloodstream, that's a very scary statistic. And apart from that, the fact that these people feel they need to be so false with themselves and with other people, it's just terrible, really, isn't it? Who are these people? How are we supposed to know what they're really like if they're actually going around their whole lives wearing a mask? And, you're not supposed to love yourself that much. It's not right. It's against the law or the commandments or something, isn't it? So, and they're so precious about themselves, they really think that they are just better than everyone else. And half of them aren't as pretty as me, Apart from that, they won't even wear, nothing is good enough for them, basically. So they won't wear the cheap makeup. They won't wear the $2.99 from Boots. It has to be the $62.75 from Yves Saint Laurent. That's all that will do for them. And at the end of the day, I really just think these people are disgusting. They really just make me sick.
When I was a baby, we had a dog called Shep. He was very friendly, trusted by the family. But one day he was actually minding me when my parents were away. But instead of looking after me, he actually took a bite on my chin. So if you look closely there, the scar is still there. We also had a horse who was very tame and friendly. One day I happened to be walking behind him, as I often did on the way into the house. He was actually eating his corn, so I didn't think he'd bother me. But in actual fact, he kicked me with his back hoof on the shoulder and knocked me to the ground. And it still pains me even to this day, and even up along my neck. A neighbour of mine said to me one time that you can never trust a horse until you see the dog bone with his bone. So you can see, I have no love of animals. You'd never find me at the racecourse or in Shelbourne Park. Okay, you might find a few lotto tickets on the floor of the car, but I just help this bookie out from time to time, and that's just the way he pays me off, and because of the tax thing and all that.
I like to think I'm a good listener, and that's why so many people come to me with their problems, because they know if they share something with me that it'll go no further. I'll take secrets with me to the grave, and that's just the type of person I am. Because, you know, unlike many of my neighbours who are just totally caught up in reading their VIP magazine and their Hello magazine and all, you know, that awful National Enquirer and the like, I've got no time for that. You know, you wouldn't see a tabloid in the door of this house, just wouldn't let it inside. Because people nowadays, they just have no respect for other people's privacy. Something happens and, you know, the next thing it's embellished 100-fold and it's winging its way halfway around the neighbourhood. Things I've seen and I've kept totally quiet about, like, you know, your man down the local supermarket helping himself to the till. That was a classic case, and, you know, of course I wouldn't pass that one on because it would just serve no purpose, you know. It's just an unfortunate incident. And as for Mrs. Smith down the way, well, you know, we all see the comings and goings of our house, and, you know, it is quite amusing at times, but I resist the temptation to pass that on because, you know, it's just not the type of person I am.
I love being married. I'm just being so happy being married to him and so devoted to each other. And, well, you know what it's like having a partner that really does everything for you. And I love being everywhere with him. I mean, this is the first time I've ever come anywhere on my own without him. We just couldn't get a babysitter to mind the 2 kids. And I just feel strange now having him beside me. You know what it's like. Just feels funny. I mean, I like having him beside me. I can't understand women or men going off and having affairs. I mean, imagine upsetting your whole family. I mean, especially your children. I mean, I wouldn't do it. I mean, I just love my kids, my husband. I wouldn't upset my whole family just for a bit of excitement. You know what I mean? Just for one moment of pleasure. I mean, would you do it? I certainly wouldn't.
I'm a window cleaner and I work the estate. And I was talking to my friend Johnny down the shops, and he said that 9 out of the 10 houses in the row were broken into except for mine. And he said apparently that they broke into the upstairs window on the right, but I don't have a ladder. And I'm glad they didn't break into my house because I've got a few DVD players, about 3, maybe 4 DVD players. I've got maybe about 5, maybe 6 televisions. I've got 2 PlayStations and a Dreamcast, and I've got a few mini systems and a mini disc player.
I'm new here. I've moved up from the country. I used to live in a little border town down the country. My husband bought property up here a few years ago, and I live now in Dublin 4. My husband's away at the moment. I have 2 sons also, but they've moved to the south of Spain. Everybody's so busy up here. It's very strange for me up here, you know. I run a little import-export business, and it's very handy to be near the airport. Down the country, everybody knew me and I knew them, and I used to call into the sergeant every Tuesday for a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, and he was very friendly.
You know, I look after the kids. I have 3 children under 5, and it can be tough, you know, like 3 children. They can do your head in, you know. But so I believe that, you know, every day I like to have a bit of time to myself and come into the kitchen and make myself a cup of tea and have something nice from the cup of tea. Tea's very boring if you don't have something nice with it. Sometimes during the day, like, I'd give the kids a wee treat as well, you know, a bit of chocolate or whatever. But when they're not looking, you know, I'd break a wee bit off, because a whole bar of chocolate for children, it's too much for any young child, you know. But you know, I'm really conscious because I've had bad experience myself recently with the dentist. I had to go and I got 8 fillings and had to get 2 teeth removed. And to be quite honest, I just don't want that to happen to my children.
Sorry. Anyway, my friends, a good couple of them smoke, so what I do is when they buy a box of cigarettes, I say no, and I take it off them and I just bring it home and get rid of it for them, because I'm helping them. I can't have them ruining their lives like this by smoking and ruining their looks and health and everything. So take it off them, bring it home, dispose of it, and it's gone. It's something I feel really strongly about. It's such a waste of money, smoking, because it's so much money. £3 for a box of 10, which doesn't even last that long really. And then if you buy about, 3 or 4 boxes a week, a teenager can't spend that much money. It's just wrong. So I get rid of it for them, and I'm helping them to give up smoking.
Then I'd probably start the dinner, I'd say, put that on. And while I was cooking, I'd start sweeping the kitchen floor, I'd scrub the desktops, and just make sure everything's clean, because you wouldn't believe the amount of bacteria in the kitchen. I mean, on the cloths alone, that's why I bleach mine twice a day. And I'd eat my dinner, then I'd then wash the dishes. And then after that, I put them in the dishwasher just to make sure, Can't be too sure.
That's love for you, never seeing your husband. And even on a Sunday, he's distant, but he's tired. He's worked all week. I can understand that. He's just a man. But he loves being with us. He's just busy, working. We didn't get a holiday this year, but you can't when there's work there. He goes away a lot. Quite often for the weekend, but he doesn't enjoy it. He'd much prefer to be with us. The boys miss him, and he misses the boys. It's quite a drag with him being away so much, but that's the way it is, I suppose. It wasn't always like that, but I don't know. It's just married life, I suppose.